Hi, friends and family. Merry Christmas, a joy-filled season, and I pray that you are feeling the joy that Jesus brought down to earth for us to experience so many thousands of years ago. His birth actually changed our calendars, so there is definitely something significant about that man who walked the earth. I had a very tumultuous week this week. Monday I met with the transplant specialist and we went over everything, and it is a very dangerous procedure, but I have confidence in the team. After leaving there, I still was going back and forth, but leaning more towards getting the transplant, just because if I had it, I probably would be off of chemo. So that's a positive. But Tuesday I met with my oncologist, and then I had to go and pick up some testing items that I needed to bring in for the following week. And when I went down to the desk, the clerk behind the desk said my insurance wasn't going to cover the test, and I was confused because it's covered it all up until now. And as the afternoon rolled out, apparently Mayo is not under my policy, and all of this time they are saying now that I'm going to have to owe all this money. Satan was definitely playing with my head that day. I felt so distraught. I was not able to get my treatment. I felt so alone. I had no one to reach out to that knows my situation all around, that I could confide in. So Satan was definitely playing with me. My good friend Michelle, when I got home though, she talked me off the ledge, and she just kept reminding me that this is all in the Lord's hand, and I can't help but look back at all the many miracles that have happened. And then as I talked to my children that evening, they too reminded me, Danielle and Jack, that God's been walking me through this whole thing, and he's not about to let me go now. So by the time I went to bed that night, I felt a little bit better and confident that, this is not the end. So I, first of all, did not get my treatment, and I don't know when or if I'll be able to get another treatment. They wanted me to stay on those until, to continue getting the chemo until I had the transplant, which at this point might be around February. So that was a big glitch this week. But the next day, I called the insurance company, and meanwhile, the insurance company is telling me all the time, this whole time, that I am still covered. So, but Mayo was not accepting. I don't know. And I know the doctors, if it was up to them, they would work around something. I know they would, but for whatever reason, the business office was not letting go. Regardless, the next day I called the insurance company. I got some names for another oncologist. I called one office of a Dr. Paul Dodd, who's actually down here closer to me. They said they were accepting new patients, and I was in his network. So I called Mayo. I had all my papers transferred to him. Here's another God thing. A friend of Michelle's, who just lost her husband to cancer, has been dealing with insurance and doctors, and she said to Michelle, have Doreen reach out to me if she needs anything, and I did. And her name is Kim, and she said, she lives an hour north of me up in St. Augustine, and she said her neighbor she believes, an administrator or a doctor at one of the hospitals down here. And so she said, I'll reach out to him and see, who he recommends. And wouldn't you know, about 2 hours later, she texts me that this one doctor is super nice guy. If and I'll put in a good word for her. His name is Paul Dodd. That's the same name of the doctor I called at 9 o'clock that morning. I mean, of all the doctors, and she lives an hour north of me. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I feel confident with my doctors at Mayo. On the other hand, that was on Wednesday morning and or Wednesday afternoon that all came about, and it just made me feel so much better about going into the holiday, because up until that point I was very distraught and saddened and confused and everything else. But that was just showing me again that God's watching over me and got this whole thing planned out. So I don't know. Mayo did send me a notice that I have an appointment in their business office on January 3rd. I'm going to follow through and see what happens with that. But in the meantime, and I don't have to have chemo right now, which kind of is making me feel better, because I haven't had to have that in my system. On the other hand, I still have a lot of the symptoms from the diagnosis. So, but that's okay. I feel great, and about to go to church. I'm with Danielle. She came back in to surprise me. Like midnight the other day, I fell asleep on the couch, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, and she's like jumping. Surprise! Talk about awakening. So anyway, I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and God bless you all. I pray that your family enjoys a wonderful year ahead of great memories, good health, and lots of love from above. God bless you all, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year if I don't talk to you. Ciao.